Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome if you're new. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get right into today's video. So for today's video, we're gonna just go ahead and jump into the nail set. I know you guys have been loving that lately, where I don't do too many PR unboxings, just jump right into the nails. So for the nails I'm going to be using are the 3XL square from Crafts by 9, always linked down below. I've already went ahead and picked those out, and now I'm going to be applying them with my Kiara Sky Stick It Nail Glue. I usually don't really ask this within my voiceovers, but I did just want to ask you guys, how are you doing? I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Whenever you're watching this, morning, evening, night, I hope you guys are having an amazing time. And just thanks for stopping by to watch my videos. And Mother's Day just passed. I know I haven't really been active this weekend because we did take a trip to the beach, and I had such an amazing time, very enjoyable. And yeah, I just wanted to say happy late Mother's Day if there are any mothers, which I know there are. Happy late Mother's Day, and I hope you guys feel appreciated and just had a wonderful time with your kids. So yeah, back to the video. Once I had the nails applied, I'm gonna be taking my nail tip cutters and just cutting them down just a little bit. I still wanted them to be long for the design I wanted to try out, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Make sure they're roughly around the same length. I usually don't really worry about that too much because I do file again whenever I shape up the nails. It's always safer to go longer than shorter, so I do keep that in mind whenever I'm clipping down my nails. So to start my design, I seen this video here from ANACRYLICS. And I know you guys have heard of this brand before. I have tried her acrylics before. I bought like 3 collections. I've tried 2 on my channel, but specifically this video here, she is using clear in her videos, and every time she's promoting her clear, she claims it's the world's clearest acrylic. And I'm not gonna lie, in her video it looks super clear. So for the design I wanted to do, I wanted to test it out myself. And this is not to bash her brand because I know there are like some mixed emotions and mixed opinions about her powders, but this was only to strictly like test it out for myself. Also, I'm gonna be trying out a new acrylic brush I got from Crafts by 9. I use her nail tips all the time, so obsessed with them. So when she launched this new acrylic brush and she sent it over to me, I was super excited because I love her products. It had a really cute handle on it. Like, I was just so obsessed with it already, and the bristles felt very nice and soft. They honestly remind me of the Kiara Sky brushes, and those are my favorite hands down. So I was just really excited to test it out. I'm just getting everything together. My monomer, I did add in a few drops of my not polished neutralizer, which I kind of did regret, and I'll tell you why once I get later in the video. But if you don't know what that is, the neutralizer just helps minimizes the monomer smell. And for the most part, as far as I know, it doesn't affect the acrylic, but I guess it does with some of them. I'm not sure. But if you have been having like the monomer smell really bad, and that's one of the reasons why you don't really do acrylic, you don't want it to stink up the house, the not polished neutralizer drops really helps. And just a disclaimer, it doesn't get rid of the smell completely, but it does help minimizes the smell. So I will have that link down below if you are interested. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into the application. As you can see, this first bead here, this is one of the things I loved about this acrylic. As you can see, I sat that bead down and it is not moving whatsoever until I move it with the brush. Like, even when I tilt my hand to the side, upside down, it's gonna stay right there until I move it. I think that's one of the things I really love about her acrylics. It's super easy to manipulate, and it's just really easy to like pat it in place where you want it to be. I know there are like a lot of mixed opinions about her acrylic, and I honestly agree with all of them, because in one of my last videos where I tried her collection, it was like I did like them, but I didn't love them. Like, sometimes I was just like having a really hard time trying to blend the colors, or the beads were just like super runny. Sometimes they felt very chalky, but I do think the chalkiness just depends on the color, because of course more colors need more pigment than others, so I think that also plays a part in them. And then there are some times where I just love how it was flowing and the beads. One of the things I really love about them again is that you can use these for like bigger beads, and I do mention this quite a lot in my videos whenever I'm doing acrylics. I do try to attempt the one bead method often so that my application doesn't take as long, and I feel like these acrylics are perfect for that. As you saw, the bead that I set down the first time, it was just like super nice. It was sitting there setting up together and just waiting to be like spread it over the nail. And this acrylic gives you a lot of time to work with it. So if you are a beginner, I feel like these would be very nice for you to practice. But then again, I also feel like you wouldn't really be into these just because there's like a lot of inconsistency with the consistency of the powders. And if I don't 100% like something, I will let you guys know. I will not tell you that it's great and have you guys go buy it. So like the others, I kind of have like mixed emotions about the powders. So let's talk about this brush for a quick second. And you will see me do this a lot within the video and the application. You'll see me kind of flatten out the bristles. So this is a new brush. This is my first time using it, and it's more of a rounder brush. It's not really as crimped as I like it to be. And when it's crimped, it's like flattened out and it becomes more of like a fan type of shape. And it's just so much easier for me to go around the cuticle areas like I'm showing you guys here in the video. Whenever I have spillage, like with that flattened fan brush, it's easier for me to do a lot of cleanup. Whenever you have a rounder brush, I feel like it's just harder for the application to be as smooth. And so yeah, that's why I always go with a crimped brush. If you don't know what a crimped brush is, I'll put a diagram up on the screen if I remember to, just to show you guys the difference. So yeah, I love a crimped brush more than a rounder brush, and since this brush isn't as crimped as I like it to be, you will see me doing that little spreading out motion, like I'm flattening out the bristles like a few times within the video. So if you guys wonder what I'm doing, that's what that is for. But yeah, back to the acrylics. I felt like this acrylic was very easy to work with, and I'm thinking because it is clear, it doesn't have any pigment in it, which makes it a lot easier than her others, especially like her darker colors like the brown. And if I remember correctly, I did try out her chocolate collection. Unless it was the other one, I can't remember right now, but if it was, I'll link it up here in the cards along with the other video. But this clear here was very nice to apply, and it was actually very satisfying for me. But once I finished doing this first application, here's how it's looking. The apex was really nice, and I didn't even have to put a lot of effort in to do it. I think it all has a lot to do with the bigger beads I was applying to the nails. That way I didn't have to go in with so many. Like, it was just a perfect amount to build up that apex area. And so yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be doing to all of my nails, just doing a clear application. Not really worrying about the nails being super thick because I won't be doing anything else to these except doing a clear base. So I'm not going to be encapsulating anything. I'm not going to be adding a lot of designs on the nails. So yeah, this is basically what I'm going to be doing for each of the nails. And I do have the rest of it sped up so you guys don't have to sit here the entire time. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and finish up this application. I'm not going to do a lot of talking. So I'm just gonna let you guys go ahead and finish watching this application. I cannot talk right now. It's super late. I'm actually doing this voiceover, so that's probably why. But yeah, I'm gonna let you guys finish up watching this application, and I will be back in a few minutes. So since all of my nails are going to be the same, I decided to take out my pinky and my thumb just because I didn't want you guys to sit here for so long just watching me apply clear acrylic. So while my nails are drying and before I get into my filing, I did just want to show you guys some new products that Meoldy Susie sent over to me. I'm going to be starting with these drill bits, and I was so excited to open these on camera and show you guys because as you see, they look very interesting. I love this cute packaging here. This first one is a tungsten carbon safety under nail cleaner, and I wasn't really sure if it was for like underneath an acrylic nail or underneath your natural nails. It didn't say whenever I went to the Meoldy Susie website, but it is a under nail cleaner bit, and that's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen one for like specifically underneath your nails. And I do just so happen need to clean up a lot of my acrylic underneath my nail where I tried to like cut it off, but it ends up going underneath the nail, so that is gonna come in handy. This next one here was very interesting to me. I couldn't wait to take this out. This is a super long tapered tungsten carbide bit, and it's so long. I've never seen any drill bit like this before, and this is gonna come in handy a lot because I do love to do long nails. And also on the website it says this carbide bit is designed with a longer head, which is faster and more convenient for removing polishes, acrylic nails than other drill bits. So that's very interesting, and I did end up using it in today's video, and you'll see how it works. Also, the one they sent over to me is a coarse bit, so it does remove a lot more product than the other ones compared to a medium and fine grit. So that was also very interesting, which I will get into in a few seconds. But also, one of the other things they sent over to me were these hand files, and I thought this was very interesting. I love the design on them, but I didn't like how thin they were. So I'm taking the panel file that I always use and just holding it up to compare. The Meoldy Susie one is a lot more thinner, and I don't know how I feel about that because I do love something very sturdy whenever I am filing and shaping my nails, just to make sure that my shape is very nice and crisp. And I don't want anything too flimsy to mess that up, so I'm not sure how I feel about that just yet, but also I will use it in today's video and let you know what I think about it. This next one here is a bunch of different files. I thought it was just gonna be one specific file, but we do have a lot of different choices. We have a 150 grit, a 180 grit, and if you are confused on the grits of files, the larger the number, the finer the grit is gonna feel. And I was very confused about that, like whenever I first got into nails. So sometimes I just have to remind myself, like the lower the number, the higher the grit, the higher the number, the softer it's going to be. And I feel like that's super backwards, but you know, you just have to get used to it. So these files here, I think is a sponge buffer because the one at the bottom says 400/3000. Now I've never heard anything like that before. I've never seen a file over anything like 180 at the most, to be honest. So that was just very interesting. Most likely that is a sponge buffer to make sure that your natural nails are shiny. And it also came with two more, which I assume are sponge buffers as well, or just regular buffers. And I think this is a nice kit to have if you want to just have all of these different options and not have to purchase like a bulk pack of a lot of them with a lot of different grits, if you know what I mean. So everything will be linked down below for you to check out. Along with my discount codes, you can save, I believe, 12% on your entire order, so make sure that you check that out if you're interested. So I did decide on using the thinner files just because they were a more coarse grit, even though they were just a 100, 180. I am using the 100 side because that is the coarser side of all of them. So I really wanted to make sure I had something that was going to get these nails nice and crisp, super nice shape on them. So I am using that side to file and shape my nails. And I didn't really like these files. The grit is normal. I just didn't really like how thin they were because like I'm bending the file as I'm trying to file my nails, and sometimes if you aren't careful, that will definitely make your shape come out very sideways because the file is not like as straight, if that makes any sense. So I wouldn't technically use these files on longer nails. I would probably use them on like shorter nails or something that doesn't need to be filed a lot, or something like polygel. So yeah, I did go ahead and do that to all of my nails, just kind of cleaning up the shape. And so for the apex area and just to debulk the nails further, I did use that extra long tapered drill bit. And keep in mind, this is a coarse drill bit, so this was something very new to me. And immediately when I started to file, I just honestly felt the difference. Like, it was just taking away so much product a lot faster than the finer grits that I'm used to. And you just have to be very, very careful whenever you are using a coarse drill bit. Of course, if you have had practice, then you wouldn't be as bad at it like I'm doing here. I felt like it was different, but I still could manage. You want to make sure that you have a nice grip on it, like I'm holding it here. While I was filing, I felt like the way I was holding it was very, very weird, but this was the most comfortable way for me, and also this was the only way I felt that I had a nice grip on it, because I believe I cut it out, but if I didn't, you will kind of see like the drill bit kind of spin around the nail. This is a coarse drill bit, so it just kind of scared me a little bit, so I was just like, okay, I'll just go back to holding it weird. That is the best way for me. So yeah, that's just how I worked that out. And I did use it to debulk the nails, go around the cuticle, and also just file underneath like the tip of the nail just to get it looking a little bit slimmer. And the long length really helped out a lot whenever I'm debulking the nails, going sideways on the nails. I love that it's super long, and just like what it says on the website, it's super convenient. But yeah, that's just how I did use the files. I really like this, although I would prefer a medium drill bit just because I feel like the coarser one is not really my speed. Like, I like it, but if I'm being honest, I would prefer a medium drill bit. This would really come in handy whenever I do nails too thick and I need something to drill down very easy and very fast. So yeah, that'll come in handy for that. And I'm gonna let you guys just finish up watching my filing process, and it's not gonna take very long because I'm not gonna show a lot of it. So I'll be back whenever I finish. So after filing and shaping all of my nails, this is where we are at so far. And with that coarse drill bit, if you see on my middle finger around that cuticle area, I did file a little too much. I took away a lot of that acrylic that I didn't really want. That's why it's super important to just use what you're comfortable with and not file too much, because once you file it, you cannot go back unless you add more acrylic. And I do not like to backtrack, so it's just easier and better if you just be careful and not make the mistake I did. Since this was clear acrylic, I didn't really think about it too much. I was just gonna keep going and not try to add that back. Before moving on to the next step, I am just gonna cleanse these nails off with some isopropyl alcohol and a lint-free wipe to make sure there's nothing trapped underneath my top coat, which is what you see me doing now, adding on some top coat. The top coat I'm using is from Valentino. Really nice top coat if you haven't tried it out yet. But I'm just going to be applying this over all of my nails and then getting into my design. If you see by the thumbnail and title, you guys know I'm going to be doing the clear water droplet trend that's going around. I've seen it so many times on the For You page, and I just wanted to try it out. It looks really, really cool. And one video stuck out to me that I watched a few days ago, and I'll pop it up right here, and I also will leave the creator down below in the description box. I thought hers turned out so good. If you haven't seen her video, make sure you go over there to watch it. Yeah, I did just want to recreate these because I like the way they look. It was super cool. But one thing I was kind of doubting this nail set about is how the clear acrylic look. Now on the reel that I showed you guys earlier, on her nails they were super clear, but on mine they look super bubbly. There's like white areas in the nail, and I'm not sure what caused it. Remember when I told you guys that I added some of my not polished neutralizer drops? I kind of regretted that because I felt like that was one of the reasons that caused a lot of air bubbles in it. I'm not sure how it reacts with a lot of different acrylics, with, like mixed in the monomer. I'm not sure if that's what caused it or just my application. So I kind of wish I didn't add that. Maybe it would have turned out different. But I didn't want to waste this video footage, so I'm still going to go ahead and try it out for you guys so you can see how it turned out. After going on top of the nails, I did also go underneath them. And I cured both sides for 30 seconds each. This is what the nails are looking like so far. So to do the water droplets is super easy, literally the easiest thing you can do. So just like in the video I watched, she did underneath the nails first. So putting some top coat on a nail palette and taking a dotting tool, I'm just gonna do like little squiggly lines underneath, not really in a specific pattern, just making them really random and making them look really 3D as well, so you can see a little bit better from like the top view. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that to all of the nails underneath, and once I finish, I'm just gonna cure. And like I said, you don't have to put them in any specific pattern, just do it random. That way it gives a more water look. So now that I have that cured, I'm also going to be doing the same thing to the top of the nails, but instead of using a dotting tool, I'm just going to use the brush from the bottle because I feel like the droplets on top need to be a little bit bigger. So just to save some time, I'm just going to go ahead and use that brush, and again, not making them in any specific pattern, just doing them very random. I'm just making little droplets of water. And this is super easy. Even though I feel like they didn't really come out how I wanted them to, this is still super easy. Once I finish over all of my nails, I'm gonna go ahead and cure again for 30 to 60 seconds, and then we'll be done with this nail set. I haven't mentioned yet, but if you guys have been enjoying today's video, make sure that you go ahead and give it a like. If you're here and you haven't subscribed yet and you have been enjoying my content, make sure that you do hit that subscribe button. Also, if you are feeling generous, go ahead and leave the water droplet emoji down below. After finishing my last nail, before I cured, I did go ahead and turn my nails upside down so that the droplets can look more 3D, just kind of like, you know, form that ball form. And then I added some cuticle oil, and once I rubbed them in, this is how the nails are looking. Now, personally, I would say I really love how they turned out, but I would have to say I don't really like how these turned out today. I feel like my water droplets doesn't give that effect how others give. Like, I don't know what it is, if my droplets look weird or if it's just because the acrylic isn't clear enough to where you can see it. I'm not sure what I did wrong, but I feel like these nails are still like really cool to look at in person. On camera it's really hard to see because of the air bubbles and like the white areas in the nails, but in person I feel like they still look very, very cool. And I did try them in a lot of different angles, a lot of different lightings, just to see if they would look better. And in some angles, some lighting it did, and some it didn't. So I'm just gonna give you a lot of different clips here just so you can see. And I do plan to try this again. I did see another design I just saw today that I want to recreate, so I will try this again, but maybe use a different clear acrylic, because I don't know about this anacrylics or if it was just my application. I don't know, but I do plan to do this design again because it looks super cool. But let me know what you guys think about today's video, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.